Hey guys, it's Camus. I'm back after a long gap. Took a while to sort out all the ugliness of Steve Farmer and the servants' quarters. I don't want to talk about it. But I'm back broadcasting high atop Camus Towers and surveying my vast endgame empire here. And when I last left you at the end of, I believe it was ChessBeauty 43, we had this position, which is from Birnov, 1933. And this is white to play and win. If you look at the position, you can see that there's approximate material equality. Oh, well, first of all, you should have a go at it. Have a go at it. All right, I assume that you've solved it, but in case you haven't, here's the revelatory remarks. Yes, as I was saying, material is roughly even, 3 pawns for a piece. But white does have this dangerous looking D pawn, and his H pawn is a cause for concern as well. So the first move is not that hard to find. It's D7. May as well go for the threat of queening. This forces bishop to F6. And now H6 underscores black's dilemma. The bishop cannot stop both pawns. So black is forced to play knight to B4. The idea of this is to bring the knight to c6 to guard d8 while the bishop stays on the a1 h8 diagonal. So, but white has a surprise for black here, and this is one of the moves. Like I said, the solution is fairly subtle, and the first move is easy to find. This move not so easy to find. This is the sacrifice. We queen, giving up our queen, and of course the bishop must take. And the point of the sacrifice is bishop to d4, and we gain control of this important long diagonal. Now, what can black do now? Well, black is pretty well screwed, but he does have this one resource. He can play knight to d3 check, and now king to f3. And now black, this is actually almost harder to find move for black than it is for white to find the solution. But he can play knight to f4. This is the main line. He does have another idea in bishop c7, but we'll come back after the main line. That's rather a thick variation. And I don't want to lose the thread of the beauty of the study here. So knight to f4 is the interesting idea that black puts forth. And he's offering the sacrifice. Now we'll see what happens after the sacrifice in a minute, but the idea is that if white does not accept the sacrifice, then he can stick the knight on g6 and guard it with the king on h5, and all will be well. But white has a surprise for black. He takes the knight, and now bishop to g5 was black's idea. He picks off the h-pawn with the double attack on the king and the pawn. King to f5, and black has no other move, so he takes the h-pawn, but now he falls into the unfortunate mire of bishop to f2 check, king to h5 only move, and can you see it? g4 checkmate. Ouch. Okay, so this was the main line of the study, and a very nice one it is too. So let's go back to the position after knight to d3 check, king to f3, knight to f4. Black has another way to try and defend the position, a little more prosaic. He can play bishop to c7, and I won't go into, there's a rather intimidating thicket of variations that occurs here, but I'm just going to show you 2 main lines. White has 2 ways to win here. He can play king to e4, knight to f4, g3 check. Of course, if he takes the pawn here, king takes g3, h7, knight g6, king to f5, knight h4, king to f6, bishop to d8, king to e6, and the pawn cannot be stopped. Similarly, if after g3 check he instead tries king to h5, then g takes f4, king to g6, bishop to g7, bishop to a5, f5 check, king f7, bishop to e5, and that pawn will queen. Okay, so there are a lot of other variations here that I calculated. All lose for black. So you can either look it up yourself or trust me on that. Okay, so I said there were two ways to win here. The other way is to play h7 immediately. This is after bishop takes, bishop to c7. h7. And now black's idea is, this is check, as knight to e5 check, that he'll be able to get the knight to g6, but and maybe he's hoping for bishop takes e5, which is a straight draw, but instead white plays king to f4, and even though black has his discovery and gets his knight to g6, it doesn't help him because of king f5, king h5, queens, knight must take, and we have a lost ending here. Such as, I'll just show you one sample line, but all lines lose for black here. Say he plays bishop g3, trying to blockade the g-pawn. Then something like this, bishop g7, bishop d6, g4 check, king to h4, bishop to f6, king to g3, g5, and this wins because black is going to be forced to give up his bishop, and the bishop plus pawn versus pawn is an easy win for white. Okay, very nice study from Birnov. And once again, I'm surprised. There's a couple of these names, Birnov, Rink, and a few others that even though these guys were laboring at the turn of the century or shortly thereafter and had no access to computers, that their lines all check out with computer analysis. Now, some of the other endgames that I've looked at, that has not been the case, but a few of these big guys seem to have really fine calculating skills. And this was another one. There were absolutely no cooks or for alternate lines in it whatsoever. So let's look ahead to ChessBeauty 45, I'm guessing. And this is white to play and win. And you can see this is, on the face of it, perhaps not such an easy task. But give it a shot, and we'll hopefully be back with you soon, showing you the magical solution to this problem. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.